I'm not gonna beat myself up about it. It's just a learning process. I made a list of all the things I was doing wrong in my mindset when I was trading, and I'm gonna read it out to you too, and then I'm gonna go into the trade. Um, Remember, these videos are for myself. They're not really for anybody else. If you happen to stumble upon my video and watch it, I hope that you learned something from it. But this is all for me. Um, so when I was watching this stock, I came in this morning with the wrong mindset. Um, Tim Bowen said it was a short. Um, I said a few more things about it that I'll get into the video into. I'll explain more about it as I get into the video. Um, I oversized honestly, then I revenge trade, then I oversized some more. But the first time I oversized, I had improper risk, and then when I lost on the trade, I oversized again with the improper risk, and and I had greed. So like when I was up, I didn't want to take it. Then when I was down, I added to the loser. Then I also wrote here that um, did not risk, I did not respect my risk. Um, and at one point I didn't even know how much I was risking or where my risk was. I just oversized and went all in. Well, not all in, but I went too much in. Um, so um, um, around at 8:30, Tim Bowen does um, his pre-market prep. Did a pre-market prep. Spoke about a few stocks on the biggest percent gainers on my scanner. Watt was one of them that he spoke about. He said, look at Watt's past history. Every time it goes up, it gets sold into and comes crashing down. You see it all in here. You see it here, here. You see some in here, mainly here, here. You see some in here, right here, right here, right there. Some in here. You see it right here, right here, and you just keep seeing it. All these big spikes with these long wicks, that's it getting sold into heavily. So I didn't. I came in with the wrong mindset, like I said. I didn't look at the to see if it had an offering. I didn't look at the flow. None of that. I just looked at the past history and saw that it came down so much. Then I saw it right here around 8 o'clock, watching it. 8:30. Um, and at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep watching it. Pulled up, pulled up, pulled back. And as I'm watching it, I'm like, okay, this looks like it might just spike back up to the highs and probably crash from there. But I don't care what it does. I'm just gonna try to make a quick buck and get out. So I had the mindset of let's make some quick money. I want to make money. I don't want to be down on a day. I'm just gonna make my quick profit. That's it. There's nothing wrong with wanting to make money, but when it comes to trading, it's not about the money. It's about your strategy. It's about the criteria of your strategy, trading properly, sticking to your risk, following your discipline, being disciplined. It consists of all of those things. And today I came in with the wrong mindset. All throughout the trade, I recognized I was in the wrong mindset, and eventually I started over trading. I got in here more size than I should have. I got in with 400. The risk was right here, um, 576, but I got in at 616. So that's about a 40 cents risk. So you do the math on that. That's a 40-cent risk. So 40 cent times 400, $160 risk. That was way above and beyond what I wanted. But because of my poor mindset, I took on that risk. Not only that, when I got in, I'm like, okay, this is bad. I'm not even gonna risk till all the way here. I already missed my entry, so I had to change my risk to like 588, and that was what it was in my head. Um, so that's 5.88 minus 6.16. That's 28 cents times 400. That's $112 risk. Still not acceptable. So the whole time I was in the wrong mindset. Um, you know, after I got in and started pulling back, came up. At this point, I was up $100, almost $100. I was at like 94, 96. I didn't take my gains. I knew there was resistance right here, and I wanted to see if it would prop back up and go up. I was using my imagination at this point because what indicators are telling me that it's going to go up? I'm just judging based off of price action, volume, and that's not enough. That's just not enough. Not only that, you can clearly see that it's um, it's being sold into, and if a successful trader like Tim Bowen, I don't know him. I met him a couple times, but I don't know him. Um, if he's saying not that it is not a good trade, it's just going to get sold into, why am I longing it? Why am I longing it? It makes no sense. But I just had a really poor mindset. And I just wanted to make a quick buck. And $100 just wasn't enough for me because I was risking. I told myself I was going to only let it go to $60. Um, I had to change my risk again to from here to here, then from here to $6. So I was risking 16 cents per share times 400 shares. That's a little bit over $60, $64, I believe. Um, and then when I was like, okay, when I got to 100, I was like uh, a 1 to 2 near the 1 to 2 risk reward. So I was risking $60 to make almost double, and I was almost there. So I kept holding on because I'm like, I'm not there yet. I'm not getting out, and that was the wrong mindset. So then it started pulling back. Sorry if I'm talking too loud, but it started pulling back, and nah, fuck that. I'm not sorry. Where am I? And now we're in the 30-second candlesticks. Started pulling back. Then when I saw that it was just gonna hit my wrist and keep fading, I exited. Now I ain't gonna lie, I give my props. I give myself props for this. I made a lot of mistakes and I overtraded. But one thing I did not do is struggle to cut losses quickly, or well, not cut losses quickly. I didn't. I didn't struggle to cut losses. Now quickly, I didn't do it quickly, but I did struggle to cut losses. I didn't struggle to cut losses, but I did struggle to cut it quickly. That's what I'm trying to say. So I covered here, and I had to cover like twice because the shares wasn't entering correctly. Then I tried longing it again because I was like, I lost like 70 something bucks. I was down 70 something bucks at this point. I wasn't happy with it. I wanted to make back my gains and a profit, which now at that point I was revenge trading. Um, Tim Bowen said every time walk goes up, it comes right back down. He was like saying something where he'll bet money or he'll bet something that it was going to go down. If you go onto his Stocks to Trade or his um, Instagram or Stocks to Trade Instagram, and you look at the pre-market prep for today, which is the day of the 19th of February 2020, you'll see where he says, Watt is a shitty stock, don't long it. He practically said that. He didn't say it in those exact words, but he practically said it. So then I longed it again, and I think this time I went with more than 400 shares, winning with 600 shares to try to make back my gains. Ended up losing more. That was revenge trading, oversizing. I didn't even know my risk at that point. Greed. That was just and practically adding to a loser because that was the wrong mindset. I didn't add to this loser, but just practically like it. Um, uh, and then I covered here when it just started not going my way. Um, then I shorted again right here for 600 shares, and I'm like, okay, it's. I think it was like a few minutes before market open. I don't like the way this chart is. A few more minutes before market open. Excuse me. Excuse me. And and I was like, I started shorting at this point. I stopped longing, started shorting. I'm like, this is very weak, especially going towards the market open. So if it's weak opening, it's gonna come crashing down. So I shorted here, right here, and I was in at 586. Um, I fucked up on this one as well because I kind of chased it and got a bad entry, and I didn't short near the high, or not. I won't say the high, but I didn't short into strength. I shorted into weakness. I should have shorted up here, or if I shorted, or if I didn't short, higher, I should have went in with smaller size just because I need to talk. I need to calm down. I'm not getting these words out correctly. Because I shorted here, it messed up my trade. So my risk was real tight. If I had done it here, it would have been better because, um, or near to the high point of this uptrend. Um, I wouldn't have gotten out right here, as you can see. Um, so I was in at 85. I sized in too big. It was $60 per 10 cent. I just wasn't comfortable with it. When it got to, I had to keep changing my risk because my true risk was right here at this highest point because then that would be an uptrend. And I'll show you here. I'm shorting right here. What's my risk? It should be this highest point where there's resistance at 49, 649, 650 right here. Resistance again at the highest point at 644. So I got into low, and then when it started perking up against me just a little bit, not even 10 cents, I got out because I didn't want to risk more. So when I got out, it just came crashing down. I missed this big jump that would have made me break even. Um, so at this point, I was down, I would say about 200 shares, I think. I mean, $200, I think. Um, and then, I saw that it kept going down. I gave it a break. And then I started immediately shorting at the very bottom, which is the wrong mindset. Now, yesterday, I watched Tim Grittani's DVD Trading Tickers. Trading Tickers 2 is coming out soon. Or it's out now, but I don't have it yet. Um, Watching his strategy where he talks about the shorting in the first red day. I think it's called shorting into, I forgot what it's called. I forgot the chapter, but it's like when he talks about shorting into first red days and shorting into bounces. It's those two chapters that are right next to each other. He talks about um, not wanting to short first green days or anything parabolic that comes, down way off their highs. And look at this. This is a parabolic, pretty much. If you look at the hourly chart, this stock was at it closed yesterday at 372, went up to a high of 827, and then today, I mean in the morning, it's way off its highs. You know, by $3 or $4. So me shorting, I should have been shorting at all in this stock, just to be honest. But me entering at the very bottom is even worse. So getting in at the very bottom, he says if you're gonna short and it's way off his highs, um, don't short at the very bottom because you're in for big trouble. And if you short like towards the middle or like right here, you need to go in with smaller size because it's already down off its highs by so much. And I did the complete opposite. I longed it when I should have been shorting it, and then I shorted even more. I shorted at the very bottom, and it's like a ball. You take a ball, you throw it to the ground, it hits the ground, it's gonna come back up. So I started shorting when that ball hit the ground, thinking it's gonna go down even more, but really, it's gonna go right back up. So I had the complete wrong mindset, and I broke many rules. But I was glad that I was able to stick to the rule of cutting losses and not letting it go out of my hand. So started shorting, adding to my shares. I started off with probably like 400 shares. Then I added 600 like a dumbass. Um, then added another 400 or whatever, and I think I was shorting 1,800 shares at one point, way beyond my risk. I was risking $180 uh, per per 10 cent. Um, I can tell whenever I'm in a bad position because when I'm shorting, I start breathing deeply and I start stressing. Um, and I feel like I'm about to shit myself or something. And at these points, all throughout these points, I felt like that because I was breaking my rules. And I have to check myself, check my body to be like, okay, am I breathing deeply? Do I have anxiety? Am I struggling? Am I stressing? And when I'm doing that, I check myself and check where I'm trading to see, if I'm doing the right thing. And at this point, I was doing the wrong thing. And it squeezed up on me right here. I was just like, what the fuck? Um, and then I'm like, I saw that it was pulling back and showing weakness. So I added shares here. And I'm like, when it got to this point right here, I was back under. I lost all my gains from yesterday. I made it like 646. Um, and then when it got to here, I was down. I lost all my gains from yesterday, and I was under the PDT rule at this point. And I was like, what the fuck? I put myself in this position again. I put myself in this position again. And I'm counseling myself. I'm like, it's just the little things, Sonny, you gotta work on. The little things like following the rules, not recognizing that you shouldn't be shorting, you shouldn't be longing something, you shouldn't be shorting something, cutting losses, not sizing in too big. The biggest thing is if I can not size in too big, if I can size in correctly and follow my risk, like my risk is $30. I want to risk only $30, and I want to cut losses cut losses quickly. If I can follow those two risks, those two rules, everything else will be good. And I'm like, Sonny, you gotta fix this. Well, not fix this, but you gotta follow these rules. Hopefully, you can get out, and when you get out, um, you're still over the PDT, and you're not fucked. So I'm thinking about this all right here, and then right here I added. Now I had to take this risk. I didn't have to. I shouldn't have, but I took this risk because I'm like, bro, if you can add right here and it just pulls back a little bit, get out, you'll take a smaller loss. But if it bounces, if it continues to go up, you're fucked. And I was willing to take that risk, even though that was a bad risk, just so I can come back a little bit stronger. So I added shares here. It started pulling back. It came down to 22. I was like four cents away from my entry or my average, and I didn't take it. I was down only like 200-300 bucks. Still didn't take it. So then they started squeezing up on me again, and I'm like, man, I'm not fucking taking this loss. I'm getting the fuck out. Fuck that shit. I deserve this. I don't want to follow my rules. I'm gonna suffer. And I exited the trade um, after over trading, and I'm just like, I'm done. I don't give a fuck. Um, and I took this big loss right here, $572. This loss wasn't because um, the trade just didn't work out. No, the loss is because of me. I am a undisciplined trader. There's probably way more names to give myself, but right now I'm an undisciplined trader. So after leaving the computer, I had to clear my mind. I told myself I needed to discipline myself. I need to punish myself because I'm not following the rules. And every morning I wake up and I go exercise and I go on this little bike, little bike thing. I forgot what it's called, but it's like the bikes that don't move. You just pedal, the tricycle bikes, the treadmill bikes. And instead of doing my regular time, I doubled it as a punishment. It's not a big punishment, but I did that because I need to find a way to discipline myself. Not only that, I recall like Tim Brittany said, man, you shouldn't be shorting these, and if you do, you shouldn't be going in big size. It's just the little things. It's just the little things um, that's causing me to trade poorly. That's causing me not to be successful. Um, so um, I forgot I had traded another stock because I was at that point I was just around when I think when I got when I after I sold the stock right here in this time frame from 9:30 to I'll say about 9:45. I just was looking for stocks to trade, um, just to try to make a quick buck, and I traded another stock called MTC. Um, yeah, so MTC was just a really choppy stock. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea where the stock was going. I knew looking at the past history. I didn't even look at the. I didn't even. I looked at the. I didn't. I had no idea what I was doing, and I looked at the past history. Saw that it's getting sold into, but it's also pushing up. So I just once it opened, I started shorting, squeezed up on me, got out, cut losses, and this is where it's at now. Poor mindset, but mainly on ticker symbol Y. I wasn't wrong for shorting it. I just had the mind. I had the wrong mindset, and I I got real stubborn. And it's easy to get stubborn with these stocks. The main thing is wrong mindset. I went the wrong way, and then I got stubborn with it. But and I had horrible entries. But there's so much room for improvements. But I'm back down to break even, um, and I'm disappointed in myself. But that's it.